And we're live. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Disruption. My name is Ami.
And I'm Tracy.
Party!
What up?
Party people! All right. So, tonight we just thought we'd do a little bit of news, see what the market's doing, and just do a little bit of a bullshit session. Just kind of goof around or whatnot. So real quick, let's get the other stuff over with. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, why not?
Why not?
What are you doing?
Help us out here, people. Come
Seriously.
on. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. Subscribe, hit the little bell so that you get notifications when we put new stuff out.
It's free.
Seriously.
But it means so much to us.
It doesn't cost you anything. All right. Helps us to keep doing goofy shit like this. Okay, cool. Where are we at right now? Market cap is $381 billion. Bitcoin dominance 37.5%. So market's kind of sideways.
It's rocking steady.
Yeah.
Not too far up, not too far down.
Ripple,
I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Watching you. Come on. I mean, we had a run up to consensus and then it went just kind of, it didn't do what we all thought it would.
We've heard some good theories on what happened.
Watched a lot of the YouTubers, talked to other people on their theories. And, I really think...
we have a favorite.
We do have a favorite. We came up with a consensus here. So our favorite is Asker from In It For The Money. And Asker, I don't mean the one with, we had the run up and people sold. No. The parallel universe.
That's where the money went.
That's where Bitcoin and the rest of crypto is running. In a parallel universe, crypto is running gangbusters, going crazy.
It's crazy over there.
Seriously. And then there's another parallel universe.
The other universe.
Yeah, and we'll get into that other universe where Bitcoin's at zero. So there's a lot of parallel universes. They're
this one's
all
okay
over the
right
place.
now.
I like Asker's theory. No, seriously. So he had a really good theory where, because so much of this was, running up beforehand, that when consensus happened, it just kind of, everybody kind of panicked.
Right. You go into this like lull.
But I still think the parallel universe one is the best. That's my favorite.
It's fun. It really is fun. But honestly, I think as the past has shown, it will continue to.
Hey, look who just joined.
Hey.
Hi, Asker.
As you've seen in the past, it will usually like a week and a half after it'll start to move back up.
I think it's going to run after, I do think it's still going to run. I mean, traditionally, the three that we had before that, it ran during. We had our run up beforehand, I think. So I agree with him there. And I think that it's going to run, a couple weeks. I think the market will start to recover again. Fingers crossed. So, what else is out there? So there was two pieces of news today that I think kind of coincide with each other. And I'll start with the first one, which is that Coinbase nearly has as many customers as Fidelity Investments.
Right.
And now that's either really good for Coinbase or really
fucking bad for Fidelity.
Really bad for Fidelity.
I'm going to go with good for Coinbase because I like that version better.
Yeah, I do. And so then the other one is that Joe Davis from Vanguard.
Joe, what are you smoking?
So he's in the other parallel universe where everything's bad. And he says Bitcoin's going to go to zero. So now if Coinbase is the size of Fidelity and he thinks Bitcoin's going to zero and Goldman's bought an exchange and all of that sort of stuff, he's obviously kind of on another planet. So what I was thinking, Joe, I'm talking to you, is we already know McAfee's bet. If Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million by 2020 or else he's going to eat his own dick. That's McAfee's bet. So Joe,
that's some jacked
you put it out
there.
You put it out there. Oh so, what I say is put your money where your mouth is. You were cool to spread this FUD everywhere. It's all over, Yahoo and all over the web. So, what are you going to do if Bitcoin doesn't go to zero? I'm challenging you.
I have a theory though. My theory is Mr. Davis is a gambling man, and Mr. Davis decided to put his money on the nag, because if it wins, everyone's gonna be like, oh, hey, but dude, that horse died. The gate opened and it died.
I think Joe and Bill Gates should both short Bitcoin. Like Bill Gates said, if he could only short Bitcoin,
he would.
You can short Bitcoin, Bill Gates.
Okay.
I think they should short it, and we should check back in with them in a year or two and see how they're doing. My other theory, though, is Vanguard wants to buy a crypto exchange. So,
they're kicking puppies right now is what they're doing.
So they want to buy a crypto exchange. So just like Goldman's did, they talked a bunch of smack about it, and then a couple months later, they spent $400 million and bought a crypto exchange.
You better be careful, else there'll be some bull boards around your office. I'm not saying that happens to people.
So so we'll have to see about that. Outside of that, the market, I was looking at the Bitcoin chart, the TA. If you know me, I use TA. I don't see TA as gospel or anything like that, because worldly events could affect the price. Right. But I use TA as historical markers, to see what's happened in the past, because typically,
and we're not financial advisors. So this is just our own insight into this. Yeah.
And typically history repeats itself. But, when you're looking at the chart right now for Bitcoin, we have stayed in this nice, this nice zone where we've built up
a good foundation.
Yeah. A really good support line around the 8,000, between 8,000 and about 8,400. I did say, I think if it dropped below 7,800, it would probably fall to about 72, which is, when you look at the chart, about the next support line. It didn't do that. It bounced off of about 79, and then it bounced back up. So, we'll have to kind of watch it, but it does have a good support line here. I honestly think in a couple of weeks, we're going to start to see another run.
What I do think is interesting that I have begun to see a lot more frequency on is the news involving banks and crypto. And I think that shows more of that lean towards adoption, that mass adoption. The gears are going, and I'm starting to see a lot of the writing on the wall. So don't quote me. No, go quote me. Quote me. It's all right. But it really is nice to see that it looks like it's starting to turn into that. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's news out every single day. I mean, I look at, coins like Ripple. They're signing up a bank a week. And I just think to myself, damn, if they would have been doing this in November and December, I mean, they already kind of killed it on their run when you look at it percentage-wise.
Right.
But, I mean, they would have just totally killed it at that time. And I think, now as the market starts to recover, it's going to take time. And again, we don't want a line straight up. You don't want that kind of recovery. You want a slow, steady recovery where it's going to, it's going to go up, and then it's going to pull back, and then it's going to go back up a little bit more and pull back. That's the kind of recovery you want, because anytime you have a line straight up, you get another line going straight down.
What goes up?
What goes? Yeah. And so you want a nice steady pace. And so I'm hoping this year that as we have more adoption, as more people get into the market, that we're going to have a nice steady rise, and not so much of a FOMO, is what obviously happened in November.
Right. Because the word really went out. Everyone started seeing the Lambos. Like, oh, I want a Lambo.
Like the Lambos they parked in front of Consensus.
Those belong to people.
Oh yeah, shh. They didn't rent them for 4 hours and park them out.
Dude, why? Why?
I get it. It's marketing.
It's publicity.
I take Gary Vaynerchuk's stance on it. I watched him do a keynote speech when I went to HubSpot's Inbound a few years ago. It was one of the best keynotes I ever saw. And I mean, he dropped the F-bomb like every other word. I mean, it was like, and I'm sitting here looking around and there's all these business people. But he was right. He's like, marketers fuck everything up.
They do.
They do. Something works good, and then every marketer runs to it, and then they fuck it up, and then they do
Speaking of F-bombs and insane things, anybody like to watch John McAfee's Twitter? If you are bored and would like to start doing something that could alleviate your stress, go ahead and today, as I was scrolling through McAfee, my fun news adventure, McAfee said something about a cook that they dosed with psilocybin and sent out shopping with the guy watching him is on Smack. And I was like, either this is joking or what the fuck is happening?
McAfee's crazy.
That McAfee's crazy.
McAfee's crazy. I think of Scrubs every time we say that. It's
crazy.
Like, Cooch is crazy. McAfee's crazy.
He's crazy. That dude is balling.
He is. He's kind of, it's funny to follow his Twitter, but he has been right about, he does have a knack.
We were sharing the same mind today because we were talking about the bank thing, and then he's talking about the same thing. Guys, it's the writing's on the wall. So if y'all are believers in McAfee, and he's been wrong, we've all been wrong.
Oh, yeah,
but he's been right about a lot of things, and I think
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. Anything else going on in crypto news lately? There was another story about how to volatility is the enemy of crypto, but it's a much needed enemy.
Let me tell you how to deal with volatility. Sit your ass down and just relax for the ride, because what are you going to do? Panic sell?
What I tell people when it comes to volatility, and I think really these articles are for people that they're coming in from the stock market world.
I'm gonna call them Chihuahua traders. You seen a Chihuahua, dude?
Yeah.
Chihuahua
so they're coming in from the stock market world, and in the stock market world, if it dumps 5%, that's like panic city. Big. It's like holy shit. And so they see 5% and they panic sell.
There went my ass.
And crypto does 5% flips all day long. 5% this way, 5% that way. 10%, that can happen in 5 minutes. And then, 10 minutes later, it's up 10%. So the way to handle volatility in crypto is if you liked the project, when you bought or invested in, or whatever term you want to use, when you invested into that project, if it was a good project when you invested in it, if you liked what they were doing, and nothing drastic has changed.
You did your research. The team was solid when you saw it. The team hasn't dissipated and disappeared in ether.
The team hasn't disappeared. They didn't put up what up, Crypto Unlock. They didn't put up, a picture on their website with a beer saying, suckers or whatnot.
Sucker. Dude, why the flippity FUD monkeys did you do that, man? That was not funny.
So if none of that stuff happened,
that was a real story.
Yeah,
that was a real monkeys is because in ICO they did this. They thought it was cute, right? How cute is this? They put a beer. They're like, later, suckers.
Yeah.
Panic. It was supposed to be cute. That's not cute.
No, that's not a publicity stunt. That went totally wrong. But yeah, if the project hasn't changed, nothing drastic has happened. The team hasn't disappeared from LinkedIn. They're still active on social media. Mm-hmm. You can see they're still working on things. If nothing's changed in it, then it more than likely it's still a good project. And we have to be able to ride through these corrections. And I know some people say, well, I'll sell on the way down and then I'll catch it at the bottom. And some people do that and they're
and
successful.
You can do it. Yeah. That's a real legitimate way to do things.
But it is called catching a falling sword for a reason, because you don't know when the bottom is. And unless you're a whale and you're the one controlling the manipulation of the market. And so when you're going to start to buy back in and push the market back up. Outside of that, it is called catching a falling sword for a reason. So, the way I handle volatility is I just hold tight if I like the projects. And honestly, when there's blood in the streets, when it's red, at that time, I'm accumulating more. That's when I'm really out looking to buy. I'm like, okay, what projects have I been watching?
But I'm going to stress, research it. If you feel good about it, if you feel confident, if you've done your research. I'm not saying like I FOMO bought this penny thing and then like, oh, dude, didn't you know that was a spoofy? That's not real. Shit. Okay, then sell, but I don't think you're going to really fix that.
Yeah.
Do your research and really invest in it with confidence. And if you felt good about it when it was all done and you put that purchase in, sit tight, relax, get some popcorn, hang out.
There you go. Yeah, I I just lost my train of thought.
You did. It derailed.
You totally derailed my train of thought.
I do that sometimes.
So yeah, I mean, so handle volatility by just, learning the crypto markets, learning how they behave, doing your research. But more importantly, outside of researching the projects, when you're in this sort of, tornado that we've kind of been in, that correction, look back in history and understand what has happened before. I'll pull up Battlestar Galactica saying what has happened before will happen again. We're not sci-fi nerds or anything over here, but, so understand what the markets do and the way that they behave, and know that 5% on crypto is not like 5% in the stock market. So if you're new, take the time to learn this. And I would actually say, take the time to learn the markets before you buy in.
Oh, hell yeah. Why are you jumping? Do you drive a car before you learn how?
And a lot of people, they jump right over and then they immediately buy. And I tell them, do your research first. You've got plenty of time to buy. If you missed one boat, there's going to be another one. And like the Winklevoss twins said, you don't, in crypto, you don't have to pick the winning horse. As long as you're on the track,
right? You're there.
You're probably going to win. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are some shit coins. There definitely are some shit coins out there.
But statistically, they're starting to shake out, so that's good.
Hey guys, hey, how's it? Exactly, the markets are way different, and crypto holding is important.
I had $100 to invest. Which coins would I buy?
That's okay. If I had $100 to invest, and again, this is just my opinion. So I'm going to tell you a couple coins that I like. Hacken.
Oh yeah,
is one that they're at about between $2.50 and $4. Let me look up and see what Hacken's at right now. Hacken is an awesome project. It is a long-term hold.
Yeah, don't rush into it thinking it's going to be like instant return. It's not, but it is a very solid technology. It's a really cool.
Yeah, it's white hat hackers. They do security audits and things like that, and they use the tokens. And the cool thing is, every time the project is paid for, they burn a little bit of their tokens, and they don't have many to begin with. They've got 5.6 million total supply, 4.8 million in circulating. And so for crypto, that's like nothing.
Right.
Hacken right now is at $3.16. So Hacken is one that I like. I would say I'm bullish on Encash. Encash, though, go and research it. There was a little bit of FUD out there on Encash. I do think it's a good long-term hold. What is Encash at right now? Encash is at about 3 cents right now. Nucleus Vision is the name of the project. Their symbol is Encash. And this one has held pretty good, even during the correction. They came in kind of after the correction already started. So theirs was around March. And they've kind of held tight with that. But I think Encash is really big. And I don't think Encash is big for what they're doing right now, where it's, kind of like when you go to Amazon and you buy something and they can personalize your experience. Encash does that same thing with retailers. So you walk into it, you've got your phone, you okay the app, and that retailer can see your profile and they can kind of personalize your retail experience. However,
that's pretty cool.
What I think is bigger beyond that is when you look at Encash and that system, that project for uses in things like security. There's so many aspects that they can use that personalization for, that's where I think a lot of value from Encash will come from long term. Again, this is just my opinion on this.
Yeah.
I'm huge on protocol coins and security coins and exchange tokens.
I will look into Polymath.
Polymath is definitely one. There's a project called Achain that I like. It depends though. Achain is really going to depend on what they do with their marketing. Right now, when you go to their website, I'll be honest, the website sucks. It just flat out sucks. I like the project, and they are going through a redesign, rebranding exercise right now.
It's an exercise.
You know, we saw it happen with Neo.
Right. Neo did. They went through.
And they went through that, and they came out. You know, they kicked ass after they came out of that. So with Achain, it's really going to depend on what happens after that. So that one, it is a long-term hold of mine. I do hold some. I have mine locked up in their wallet because they do give they do give what's called loyalty rewards. So you know, if you hold, because I'm holding long, I'm not looking to trade it, so I just hold mine in their wallet. And because it's in their wallet, every time they hit a certain block height, they give you some tokens if you've been holding in there. And so I think I'm on like month 4.
One that I have not gotten into, but I've been researching, is sharing. So if you haven't heard of that, take a look at that one. They're trying to develop correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but they're trying to develop a platform that covers like sort of Ticketmaster things, Airbnb, things like that. It looks really interesting. I'm doing research on it now because I'd like to have a talk about it. So it sounds kind of fun.
And Crypto Unlock said, with $100, I would probably crapshoot on a few small altcoins because they seem to jump in price quickly. Yeah, I mean, that's why I like Hacken, because it is an altcoin, and there is so little amount of tokens out there that when they do start to get some legs, if they get on another exchange outside of KuCoin, I really think that one's going to run. And I don't know where you're at. So if you're outside of the USA, there are a couple ICOs that I am pretty bullish on. I did a video on the Mandala Exchange.
Wicked.
That, to me, I mean, it's a next generation exchange. If they're able to hit those milestones and they're able to do what we talked about in my interview with him, go watch the video, because I interviewed the CEO, Nate Flanders.
Super cool guy.
Super cool guy. And he talked about all the things that they actually have been doing, and they're on the roadmap for, and they're actually talking to him seemed like they were somewhat ahead of schedule too. And so if you're outside of the US right now, in the US, it's KYC, so you can't invest. But if you're outside of the US, I would say Mandala is definitely an ICO to look at.
Yeah.
Check out Crypto Flip. It's a pretty cool project too. He's out of Australia. Let's see. My top coins for 2018: Icon, Vechain, Achain, and EOS. Yeah, I agree with you on Vechain. That's one that I really follow. Yeah, and I just talked about Achain as well. So yeah, definitely. And Vechain and Hacken, didn't they recently do a little? Yeah, Vechain and Hacken Hacken did a project, or just announced that they're doing a project for Vechain. You know, so there again, you know, those are some good ones. Let me look real quick and check out the old list. Yeah, let me just check out my list real quick to see what else might be. Icon has partnership with Samsung and Line. I did read about that the other day, so I'm interested in that. What else you got? I mean, I like Neo, but if I had $100, I probably wouldn't buy Neo, because you're only going to get like 1.5. And there's too many other coins right now that are so low that have a lot of potential. Yeah, and again, I'm also bullish on Ripple. Yeah. So if I had $100, I might just put it in Ripple, because Ripple's at what, like 60 or 70 cents right now. And again, long-term hold. When I talk about investing, most of my investments, I'm looking about 5 years out. So I'm not looking to turn around and flip it in like 2 months or even a year in most cases. I'm looking long-term for these projects, because I research the projects and I look to see where they can go, you know. Right. And again, they have to hit their milestones and all that sort of stuff. But I look to see if there's a future in the projects, because right now in crypto world, we're in hype mode. Right. And eventually the hype is going to wear down. And so you have to have a viable project. Yeah. So one of the ones, like I was talking about, what seems to be a lot of hype on EOS. I'm seeing so many concerning issues. The no use case will be free after net launch. You guys have any #1 popular coin, but scary? I saw. Yeah. Yeah. No, the one that I just started really researching, like I said, was sharing. And the reason that one came up was it went across the NASDAQ, and then Moby's a partner on theirs. And it's this
cool platform where anyone can easily share services around the world. So you can like get off the airport and catch a ride in Tokyo with this whole thing. And they've got, I don't know, you can't see this, but if you get a chance, the sharing network has a lot of really good information. That's one I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I was looking at sharing a couple months ago. I think they had reached out to me and we were talking a little bit.
But again, do research.
Yeah, definitely do your research on these. And what was the other one that Roger Ver money?
Yes, that was the Finnish company. It's a new Finnish company. Money Token, was that?
Money Token. Yes. That's it.
So it's essentially where you can leverage the collateral on your crypto for actual fiat cash. Interesting project.
Yeah, definitely. Another one that I like is Genesis Vision. So check them out. I might be doing an interview coming up with their CEO soon. So
and we love bringing you guys those interviews. So you have stuff that you're interested in, go to the Telegram, go to the group, go to the community, let them know that we're willing to chat it up and bring you guys the answers you're looking for.
Yeah, I love doing interviews because it's a lot different than just kind of like clicking around on the screen and saying, look at the TA on this. Credits dance to the moon. Yeah, Credits is a good one. They definitely have the transaction speed nailed.
Right. That's going to be something. Mainnets are switching on all over, guys.
Yeah. So if you have projects that you want to hear the CEO or somebody in leadership interviewed, one, send it to us, but also, hit them up, say, hey, go reach out to them because we'll do an interview with it. I line up interviews all the time because then you get to hear it from the horse's mouth. You get to hear, and sometimes during the interviews, they'll talk about things that they're working on in the future, which they might not have released yet, so definitely, I love to do interviews. Got Achain after seeing its potential. Any chance to survive crypto bubble is Achain. Achain, high potential for top 50. Yeah, I do like Achain. Like I said, though, Achain needs to clean up their marketing. Dude. They need to get a new website. They've got to take care of that because you go to the site and it's just horrible.
I do a lot of QA. So I'm sorry if you are going out there, you're one of the people that are putting together these websites, check your crap. Because I'm serious. If I can't find your white paper, if it's a treasure hunt to figure it out, you're not getting my money. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So really think about your customer base. It's not all about, I'm slinging some awesome blockchain and I'm glad you're smart and I'm glad you know what you're doing. Make sure other people understand that.
Yeah. The one problem that cryptos have, I would say this as a blockchain industry as a whole, is the blockchain and crypto projects.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could buy Neo back when it was like
shit.
I agree.
The crypto market has a lot of technical people in it. It's basically created and run by engineers.
We love you.
And although, like I was talking about, Gary Vee said marketers fuck everything up, but marketers do know how to put out good sites that have a buyer's journey. They tell the story. They've got the call to actions on it, and it's put together in a way that somebody lands on it and doesn't necessarily know about the project is going to know which direction to go. Eventually, people are going to have to buy these projects.
Holding things long term. That is the name of the game right now. The crypto market is as such where you're going to benefit more from holding something long term. Look at the tax benefits. If you get rid of it now, there are so many more implications. You hold on to it for a period of time. Not only are you strengthening your position, but you're giving yourself more potential in the long run.
Yeah. And when you jump in and out of these projects and you sell early, then, you got the tax hit too. If you hold it for a year, at least in the US, again, everybody's tax laws are a little different.
Know your own tax laws.
So if you hold it for more than a year in the US, you don't get hit with the high capital gains. That's why.
Did the Vechain room join in? What happened? Hi, Vechain.
Hi, Vechain. Hey, thanks for signing up with Hacken.
Yes, thank you. Bitcoin and Ethereum will cover by credits. His home would be getting Lambo. Dude, right? No. Why are you getting a Lambo? Do you know how much the insurance is on that? Do you know? No, seriously, if you want one, get one.
Yeah, you want a Lambo, get a Lambo. Yeah, credits is a good one.
17 cents. Lucky you.
Channel because it.
Dude, I am a gal. I'm going to be real with you. You want a really hot chick that's going to go long term with you? Don't get her on a car. Don't do it. I'm a hot chick. I think fast cars are awesome. That is not the fast car I find sexy. Well, I would drive it. I would drive it.
They might not be looking long term. That's what a Lambo's good for.
But,
that's what
but they do take a corner like nobody's business.
They do. Oh, what was that? Cannonball Run with the Lambo, and then the hot chicks got out and they had the zip up full leather bodysuit, and they were tricking it. So, Cannonball Run's an older movie from the 70s, and the point of the movie, was like to run from one side of the U.S. to the other and not get arrested or whatnot. And so they had the trick that every time they got pulled over, the guy cop would walk over and they'd zip down their thing and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, officer." And then the last time they all zipped it down and it was a female cop.
Whoops.
So that's what I think about when I think Lambos. Okay, sorry. I should hold both my best coin and my gals. Thank you for your advice. There you go.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You want to save some of that money. You get Lambo chicks, that money might go away quick.
Yeah, definitely. If she's getting you for your,
but if it's worth it.
Yeah, sometimes it could be worth it. Let's see. I think we sufficiently bullshitted for.
Do you feel fully bullshitted, guys? I don't know. You guys have anything you want to chit chat about? Get to know us a little more.
Let's see. EOS at $5 and holding long term. Achain needing rebranding. Yeah, we talked about that. They definitely do need.
Achain has a ton of potential, but from a review point of view, I am really sad at the way that their site looks.
Yeah. So yeah, but we're gonna see what happens in June. We're definitely gonna see what happens with June. That's when Achain's new branding or redesign, whatever we're going to call it, is going to come out. Last I heard, it was kind of 50-50 between changing the name and not. I don't think they need to change the name. I just think they need to change their look, feel, and all of that sort of stuff.
Okay, sorry.
Talking with Hacken, I do want to get an interview with the Hacken CEO.
That would be awesome.
So I've kind of hit the Hacken group up for that. Let's see.
I'd also love an interview with Gemini. Tyler and Cameron
twins.
I'm just saying, guys, let's have a conversation. I think you'd have fun. Definitely. I think we'd have a good talk. I think people would appreciate it. I love Gemini. I think it's really smart to use the twins as your twins. Haha.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So come down to our level.
Whatever.
Talk to us.
Let's have a chit chat. I did not graduate Harvard, but I would love to talk to you.
Just asking what will happen.
Fast scale network on 30. Achain is a beast. Yes, Achain, the sleeping giant.
Yeah, waiting for the whales to go.
I think, like I said, Achain has a ton of potential. But you need to get your website shit together, dude.
Yeah. So, and they were working on that. And I might actually even be interviewing somebody from Achain. We'll see. Can
I join in? I'd love to ask a couple of website questions. No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah.
Seriously. We love to do our interviews, and we give you guys a lot of bandwidth to discuss what you feel is important for everybody to know. Yeah. So
I did. So I've got a couple more in the pipe. I did a good interview last night. Are you both what?
Make it live stream so that we can ask questions. Okay, I would absolutely love the opportunity to do some live stream interviews. Do you guys have some massively important ones you'd love to hear and ask questions on? Let us know.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps some of the executives
holding tons of different coins. Are you asking if we hold a lot of different coins, Kristen?
Yes.
Christian, holy crow! I am so sorry.
I do. Yeah, I do have a nice portfolio.
You have to understand, the type is this big right now.
Yeah. So the reason why a lot of executives don't do live stream, and some of them will, but the reason why they somewhat
shy
away from it is every once in a while, you know, especially when we're chatting and
Right.
the way I do interviews.
Because we want to have a comfortable environment.
Yeah. The way I do interviews is more of just like a bullshit session. And then sometimes things pop out that maybe they shouldn't have said yet.
I would be happy to consider a moderation version where we can have someone on and ask certain questions.
I'll definitely ask, you know, I'll throw that in.
Smash it. Yeah. Give me some love.
Hey, what's up, Midgety? I'll definitely throw that in the mix and ask them if
everybody that we get the opportunity to talk with, we're happy to ask them if they'd be willing to sit down with you guys, the public, and to ask some real questions.
I did a pretty cool interview last night, and I'll be releasing this video probably in the next couple days with Ether Inc. blockchain. You know, it's EINC.io. It's a cool project because it helps businesses incorporate, but not even necessarily a business, but like anybody can incorporate on the blockchain. So it makes all that legal stuff that you have to do.
The cool thing about this is the implications for your nonprofits, community events, musicians, things like that. So it's got a pretty, I think it's got a pretty bright future as well. And again, they have a working product. I think you'll notice one of the things we like to do is these specialty projects. Was it MCoin?
Yeah, MCoin was
where
one.
You're bringing the people that have the less ability to reach out and actually be involved in the financial market, the ability to be involved in the financial market. So changing the globe.
What do you think about Visa's CEO joining
Cryptodeum
as the new CEO? I love it. Things like this show me
the market's shaking
that the market is changing. That a lot of these executives that were originally naysayers are looking around and they're saying, "Oh shit, this is for real." What was the last one? Oh yeah, got Tron at 760. Yeah, I'm in Tron as well. I did get Tron at I think it was around 10 cents or something. It was on the way down. That was one of those, I was trying to catch the falling sword and it didn't work out quite good for me, but I'm holding Tron long term. So I'm not really worried because I think Tron will easily be able to go past. I mean, they already hit about 9 cents. So they were pretty much already, you know, there.
You're welcome.
You know, so,
yeah, it's like my Ripple. Ripple is one of my loves. If y'all hear me talk, one of the first ones I ever even got interested in crypto with. Crypto. Don't say
crypto with Ripple.
That just did not go well. If you really become passionate, one of the first ones I got in with was Ripple. And it was the research that blockchain, the ability to have the speed, there is so much application to it and it's still so low. And I get it. The volume is vast. But you do not get the movement without the volume. But the implications for this long term.
The amount of tokens that they have. But again, I mean, they're signing a bank a week now. So
Ripple, right. There you go. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
My people.
So yeah, I mean, I am very much pro Ripple.
Yeah. There's tons of options. So don't feel bad if you change gears, you go with something else. You know, I like to suggest holding, if you got in on a project, keep a little bit of it. It doesn't have to be a lot, but if you really loved it, keep a little and you might be surprised in 5 years what you have sitting there. So.
Yeah. Crypto Oracle has a pretty good strategy where he says, you know, buy into a coin and then when it doubles, when it 2Xs, sell half of it. And that way you're still even with your initial investment. So let's say you put $1,000 in, and it doubles to 2,000. You sell half of it. You still have $1,000 in this original project that you like, and then you take that other 1,000 and you buy into something else. And then when that doubles, you do the same thing. And excuse me. And that's the way, like, if you listen to Crypto Oracle, he's talked about how he's built up, his wealth.
Right. And that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah. You know, I mean, we're all here to make money and
smart money that works for you
and to be successful. You know, we're getting into crypto like the people, the very, very early investors into the internet before the .com.
Well, even go back like the stock market.
Yeah.
When it first came out, you had your people that they really saw something. I mean, and look at where it went.
Yeah. So I mean, anybody into crypto right now, there's a very small amount of people invested in cryptocurrencies and blockchain in comparison to the rest of the investments out there. And so we are really at the cusp. We're at the very beginning of something. And so I tell people, and it's like the Winklevoss twin said, you just have to be on the track.
Right.
If you're on the track, you're probably going to win.
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to mean Bitcoin wins. At the end of the day, if Bitcoin does well, the other cryptos are going to follow. You don't have to just be into Bitcoin. You can be into all these other ones. And I would actually say, for me, I would never put all my eggs into one basket.
No,
you know, I mean, no matter how good that project looks, we've seen huge companies, not in the crypto world, but when you look in the other, like we were just talking about Enron.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought Enron was going to fail?
There is no sure thing.
Or
there
WorldCom.
Is no sure thing.
You know, I mean, I knew a lot of people when we were in Colorado.
Oh God. That
worked with me at BEA Systems, and they had come from WorldCom after the bust there. And I mean, some of them, their entire retirement was decimated because they had all their eggs in one basket.
And that sucks.
So never, ever, ever put all your eggs into one project.
Diversification is the key of life.
Diversify. Find other projects you like. Keep them in, you know, if you made an initial investment in one, I would say keep it in that one. And then as you can bring more fiat into the market, then start looking for other investments. Right. That's
mass adoption is the name of the game. So this is really going to start to take off when people see that it's not really much different from using your credit card on a regular basis, except you have more control. Yep. So I think that's most all we got really for y'all tonight.
So that's what we got for you guys tonight. We're going to let you go. So
thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out. As always,
trade
responsibly.
It really